All right, so welcome back. So we're going to start knocking out these harder steps. So the first one we're going to knock out is this GTL client library. So we've made these two placeholder folders, and now in this video we're going to fill up the GTL client library folder. So in order to do this, we're going to have to go download some code. This code is maintained by Google. They keep it in an SVN repository. They keep it at a location that's called code.google.com. Google's cool, so they don't necessarily always use GitHub. They've got their own source code repository systems, right? And so you can go visit this link. It's a website. It's a wiki. It'll tell you kind of all about it. Ultimately, what it's going to do is it's going to tell you how to check out this source code and what you need to do to check out this source code. And you can go visit those links, but I'm just going to tell you what they're going to say. The moral of the story is there's a command right here that you need to type. Right? So I'm just going to copy it so it's on my clipboard. I'm going to open up a terminal window. So I go ahead and fire up my terminal window. Now what I want to do is I don't want to type this command just anywhere because this is going to download that code and it's going to put it in whatever folder I'm currently in. So I really should go to some type of reasonable folder location, right? So maybe you've got an iOS area, and I don't know, you can put it wherever you want. So I'm going to put mine just right into my iOS area. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste that command. If you want to read that command, that's great. It says SVN checkout. And then you're going to check out from HTTP, the Google API, ObjC client, Google code, and you're going to put it into a folder called this. So it's going to make a folder called that big long name, and it's going to download all these things. So it'll just kind of do its thing for a little bit, downloading away, which is great. Hopefully it will all work out just lovely. And then once you finish this, what you should have is, if you do an ls right now, you can see that I've got this Google API ObjC library. By the way, if this is not the first time you're watching the video, if this is actually the second time, and you want to make sure you've got the latest, you can do an SVN update. Of course, I just downloaded it, so there's no reason for me to do an SVN update, but just to kind of tell you, if you're doing this video for the second time and you want to make sure you've got the latest, that's how you can do it. So let's go see what we've got here. So I put it into my iOS dev folder. I've got this giant folder here called the Google API ObjC client read-only. And it's got two folders in it. One is called example, the other is called sources. There's a lot of cool stuff in this, and we're not going to go into all of it. I mean, obviously, if you wanted to see an example, here's a project for doing something with the YouTube Endpoints API. Google makes their own Endpoints APIs, and you can use theirs. If you want to use theirs, you have to use their pre-generated code. But none of that really matters to you right now because we care about making client code for movie quotes. There are only two projects that you care about in this whole thing, right? So there's a lot of cool stuff, but there's only two projects you care about. One is GTL. That's what we're going to use in this video. The other is the service generator. That's what we'll use in the next video. So let's go ahead and open up GTL. So I'm going to just hit Command and down and open it up in Xcode. All right, so this project is interesting because we're not going to run anything in here at all. The only thing we're actually going to do in here is we're going to copy some of their code out, right? So if you expand GTL, GTL source, and you expand common, you can see that there's a number of folders in here. So these folders, they have the code that we care about. And so to be honest, I don't even care about the rest of the screen. I only care about copying what's in these. So one thing that I kind of like to do is I like to get like both my projects so I can kind of like see them together on the same screen. Because really I'm just going to copy things from here into this GTL client library folder. The things that you need to copy. Inside this common area, you want to expand almost all the folders. You want to expand everything except for Mac OAuth 2, so don't expand it. And then what you want to do is you want to select, I usually select like either the bottom or the top, and then I hold down Shift, and I go to the other end. So make sure the first one you've got is defines. Make sure you've got all the folders open, except for that Mac folder, and make sure the bottom one is this touch lib. And then really what you want to do is you just want to drag it over and just drop it right in here. It'll say, do you want to copy them into this this folder? Yes, definitely make sure copy is checked. And so what that'll do is that'll just copy all those files over. So you're almost done. You're not quite done. So you've got all the files, which is good. This GTL thing, we're done with it. We were just using it as an easy way to copy files over. The reason that we're not done is a detail, and that's if you understand how automatic reference counting works, ARC. These were made before ARC existed, but our project now is using ARC. So this is a detail, but you have to tell it not to use ARC on these files. If you understand that, great. If not, just follow what I'm about to tell you to do. Click on the project at the top. Click on Build Phases. Expand your compiled sources. And what we're going to do here is we're going to set a flag on their files, right? Easiest way to select their files, I mean, you could go through it and you could do it one by one. You know, you could skip over the ones that we made, the RH app delegate. That's fine. Personally, there's so many of theirs and so few of mine. I'm just going to select them all, and then I'm going to go through. I'm going to remove the ones that say RH, right? I'm going to also remove main.m. And what I'm doing here is I'm going to set a flag on just theirs. And you can kind of double check. You can see that theirs typically start with GTL or GTM. So I've got a bunch of GTLs and GTMs, GTLs, GTMs. Those look good. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click over in this area, and this is going to let me add a flag. The flag that I need to add is to not use ARC. So if you want to read this, it says, hey, here's a flag. The flag is no ObjC ARC. Once you type that, you can hit enter. And if you've got them all selected, you can see that it will apply this flag to all their files. So this is not very exciting because we can't do anything yet, but we should be able to see that all happen, and we should know that that step is ready to go. So that step, no matter what project you're doing, is going to be an important thing to do. Next, what we're going to do, and we're going to break this into the next video, is we're going to generate the specifics for Movie Quotes API. All right, we'll see you next time for that.